Good morning guys, this is your host Freddy Filipino sa America Blog. Here's another edition of my blog regarding responsibility of the parents, teachers, and the government to all our Filipino students. Thank you very much. This is your host Freddy Filipino sa America Blog. Good afternoon. This is your host Freddy Filipino sa America Blog. This is a message to all our Filipino students and also to co-bloggers in YouTube who are, I think is most of them are parents, and this is also addressed to those students who are from kindergarten to 12th grade or 12th grade there in the Philippines. Okay, this is an address to them. Okay. It's about responsibility. This is my subject for today, responsibility, and I emphasize mostly the American teaching in education, most especially there in the Philippines. Okay, uh, I really encourage the use of American education and technique because the Philippines right now is lagging behind as far as education is concerned. We are lagging behind among our Asian countries, among our Asian neighbors there in the Philippines because of the poor education. The mere fact, the mere fact is a testimony that if you are a college graduate and you come to the United States, you just become just a high school graduate. And if you become, and you are currently head or a doctor or a surgeon there in the Philippines, or even from the Department of Health, you are already from being head of a particular public health unit there in one of those provinces or big cities there in the Philippines. When you come to the United States, you just become a nurse, an RN nurse, only if you pass the NCLEX. Okay, NCLEX. This is that licensure examination for nurses. If you cannot pass it, you could also apply for a nursing assistant, even if you are a surgeon, and still you have to pass the qualification test for being certified. So that's how our education is being described there in the Philippines, or the quality of education that we have there in the Philippines. Okay, so that is a that's so good when it comes to education there in the Philippines. And also emphasizing the use of English as a medium of instruction from kindergarten to 12th grade and in college. And in college, we should emphasize the importance of English language because English is the subject of all learning, most especially in English, in mathematics, in science, in technology, and for overseas Filipino workers, also for job interview, and also for the final interview, panel interview. Okay, and I will take this subject in my next blog. Okay, now we come back to the education there in the Philippines, more especially to our kids. It's all about responsibility. The responsibility comes to first to our teacher. Our teacher, the public school teachers, was given instructions by the President of the Republic of the Philippines, President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., to use English as a medium of instruction. And yet, a group of teachers there in the Philippines doesn't want to implement those instructions of the President because some of them are said that if we are not going to use Filipino, it is being unnationalistic. Okay, that's bad. Okay, we should remember that English is a global language. It is a subject for all learning process, and that's the reason why English was removed from the curriculum of all in the college level. Why? Why? Okay, it's simple. We are not using Filipino to grow. We are not using Filipino here in the United States, in Canada, in Australia, in reading a book, in acquiring knowledge, in acquiring information. It's all about English. Okay, those who are against it are maybe having a failure to use it because what we need to associate ourselves to other English speaker in order for us to be acquainted with that kind of language that they are using. Okay, if we are going to associate with ourselves with our co-Filipinos who are not using it, you will be the same like them. Okay, that's so simple as that. Okay, and again, it's responsibility. We come back to the responsibility. It's also the responsibility of parents. Most overseas Filipino workers are parents. You should compare with your children back home. You should talk to them at least once a week. Even you are busy, you could compare them. You could talk with them. Tell them that they need to speak English. They need to study hard. They need to work hard because at times they will become like you there as an overseas Filipino workers, okay? And you could and they could be land a job much better than what you are right there in the Middle East or in some parts of the world, okay? And we need to set an educational goals for our kids. We need to set our educational goals. Maybe the educational goals will be like just even a passing grade for a start. And then for the next one will be a much higher or an average. Okay. And then the next level will be above average until they reach the excellent quality. Okay. And we should take those responsibility as a parents. Okay. And for our government, we should also give importance to education system. We need to overhaul those under the Department of Education as well as in the Department of Higher Learning there in the Philippines. We need to set a high standards of learning process that will be competitable, that we could compete in other parts of the world. Like now, it's no longer good as far as standard of education there back home. If you if you disagree, then let me know. Okay, just put it in the comment. Okay, the education is far below the standards of American education because if you come here, except for the nurses, if you come here and your transcript will be evaluated, the evaluation is a failure. So you need to study again here in the United States, and you will not regret it if you study here in America because it really pay a lot if you have a U.S. education, most especially our president Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., who has a good showing as far as administration is concerned, because he is applying what he learned here in the United States, applied there in the Philippines, and no one could deny it. Okay, one good example of Bongbong Marcos system administration system is the Kadiwa. We have here, like here in America, where the farmers bring their own crops on a market day. We call it a market day. They set only a 1 day, most especially during payday, and that's what is going on there in the Philippines, where you could buy cheap agricultural products, very competitive and very good. And it's all fresh, coming from the farm, and that's what the Kadiwa is being doing right now. Okay, it's coming from the farmers, and through a government agency that will purchase them. But here in America, it's directly the farmers are the one. The government is not interfering it, but President Marcos is using that through Kadiwa. Okay, and we also encourage our students to be a creative, okay, a creativity, okay, and we must develop their talent and skill in order for our country to grow, okay, and we could encourage them to be a great writer or innovator, like they could develop in technology. Right now, in Apple, they develop iPhone 14, or they could be developed once when they reach or they finish a course, they could develop much higher than iPhone 14. Okay? And if they like, they could become a lawyer by studying and become an associate member or even a chief justice of the Supreme Court. And in order for them to do that, they should engage in a debate manner. Okay, okay, that is a one way of training them. And once more again, they need to speak English. From being a broken English, then higher and higher and higher until they become versatile or they become fluent and what? Okay, crispy English speaker. Become an English speaker. Okay, thank you very much. And also, perhaps they could be a nurse, a doctor, or an engineer, an architect. Okay, so these are we had to set a goals for them. The parents need to influence the kid. Okay, and also as well as you as parents there in the Middle East, you could encourage your children to grow with you, and you also doing and becoming a model. Okay, and also for the government, it's your responsibility. The government, it's your responsibility to set a high standard of education, not being dictated by those teachers who are disagreeing with the use of English as a better way to improve, as a better way to produce quality graduate. Okay, I really disagree the use of Filipino in college, in school, in all school, from kindergarten. They should all already be fluent in English. Okay, they could use Tagalog or Filipino in at home. Okay, in all transactions, business transactions, school transactions, in all public speaking, they use English. Even in the Senate. Okay, okay. I disagree with the use of Filipino in all transaction, mostly there in the Philippines. In the stock market, we always use English. Okay, there is no justification for us to use Filipino. We need to be practical. We need to use our common sense. Okay? In order for us to grow, we need to speak in English. We need to write in English. We need to think in English. We need to embrace development through the use of this global language. Okay? Then if we have reached that goal, that we become already a developed country, then it's time for us to use the language Filipino. And because we have budget, we have more budget to have more words in Filipino. Okay, and that's the time that we could do it. Even Korea, they reached their already their stage of being a developed country. Now they are going to they have a budget to send their students to a more affordable school there in the Philippines to learn English. The Japanese are doing that, and other countries are doing that. They are really want to learn English. Okay, for those who disagree, put it in the comment. Okay, I do hope that this will inspire you guys. That this will inspire you to learn English, as well as your responsibility as a parent and as a model to our student there in the Philippines, the young student from kindergarten to middle school up to 12th grade. Thank you very much. This is your host, Freddy, Filipinos America Blood, reporting here in the United States. Never hold your peace, and in God we trust. Thank you so much. I'll see you in my next blog, Filipinos America Blog. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Okay? I love you.